Claudia Hawthorne. I live in the Cleve Hills section of Cheektowaga. I'm in love with tulips and have been for over 20 years. If you want an effect like this, I would get 100 of one type, at least, and embedded in with 100 of another type, and that way you get the mass effect. I have found out when I look for a standardized height of at least 24 inches that you can see them from 2 blocks away without any problems whatsoever. And also, don't pull out the dead tulips from last year. Add new ones in between. You'll be surprised how many of the other ones will still come back all on its own. You see multiple years embedded in this bed because I never take a dead bulb out unless it's one of my famous one-leafers. They just didn't make it. That's when I take the bulb out. Other than that, I don't touch it at all. I do fertilize my tulips when I plant in the fall. I do fertilize them in the spring also. That was recommended last year. I think it has made them taller and stronger by doing the second fertilization. The fertilizer I use is whatever the generic bone meal that's on sale, usually the larger bags. Since I use it twice, it usually is gone. I try to do a staging, which is what you see here. What you see here was first I had a mass of over 150 hyacinths come up. Then I have a few perennial daffodils that come up. I have a few allium buds at the very far end and other few buds right along the front as a nice little border. You will see in between these things that will be coming up very shortly is I have other perennial coreopsis and columbine coming up to take care of when these leaves die down. But the coneflowers bloom all season. And I have plenty of room to plant tulips around my sedum and my coneflowers. It's no problem at all. No, I do not plant a perennial on top of my bulbs. They're next to them, they're beside them, they're in between them. And that way one thing dies back, another thing comes up. That's why the tulips are sectioned right across the front there in mass. It just gives a dramatic effect, and then when they slowly die down, those nice big leaves of the perennials come up, and I still have my pop of color, including my old-fashioned red rose that blooms in June. The leaves, when they're dying and the other leaves coming back, they're all blended together. You can't notice from the street that it's a dying bed. You still have that nice pop of color. Even if it's different shades of green, it's a wonderful pop of color. We do with the tulip foliage. Okay, when the flower is gone, we cut the stem all the way down. All the way down. The leaves have to turn brown. Yes, this can take a while, but that is why you see these wonderful coneflowers here, which have leaves almost the same height as the tulips, and once these pop up, those will fall down when they're naturally dying, and you won't even notice your dead tulip leaves, which is wonderful. And where I have dead spots, like everybody gets dead spots, you'll see I've already started to pop in a few annuals. The outer circle, it will be some kind of annual that's short, that doesn't get into where the bulbs are deep. Okay, when do I plant the tulips? Okay, I plant them over a series of time because of the sheer number I plant. The ground has got to be cool, so I can't go by a date. I have planted tulips with the winter coat and gloves on. That's no problem. If there's a little snow on the ground, that's no problem. I usually start in October and plant through October, and hopefully I'm done by Halloween. I really enjoy tulips. I hope someone else can start enjoying them as much as I do, and I have through the years, and realize that you can still have perennials and some annuals to not have a month where you don't have a pop of color.